Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's grow this family together. Thank you so much for watching, and in today's video I wanted to do a quick and short and simple video on how to achieve a flawless airbrushed look under eye concealer. I get so many questions on how to avoid those creases under the eye when applying concealer, or if you have concealer on all day and eventually throughout the day it starts to build up and get cakey, or if you have lines, things like that. So I'm going to show you kind of what I do and what works for me, and it's been working for some time. I do have a line under my eye, which hopefully you can't see right now, but with how I apply the concealer and how I set it, it tends to kind of disappear. So that's pretty cool. Kind of like magic. I do share in this video my favorite concealers and the ones I recommend that have worked for me, that really helped me achieve this under eye flawless look, and also a few that kind of have given me creases in the past which didn't work for me and I don't recommend. So yeah, if you are interested on how to achieve a very flawless under eye concealer look, kind of like what I'm wearing right now, then please continue to watch this video. Okay, hello. So before we start the actual concealer process, I'm going to show you how I apply my foundation, because it does play a huge role. Foundation, your favorite one. Mine's is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. I'm gonna put this on my face, but I'm gonna avoid putting it under my eye. Now, the purpose of this is because you want to avoid your concealer area, essentially your entire face, but mainly your concealer area, to look cakey. How does it look cakey? If you apply way too many things on there, more than you need. And foundation is essentially gonna go in the areas where I'm not gonna conceal. So I'm just gonna put some of this foundation on my cheek, like right in the center, right there as well, and I'm going to begin to blend this out with a beauty blender, and I'm going to go in all the areas except under my eye area, because I'm going to put the concealer there. And I know some people like to put concealer on their forehead too. I'm not even putting any additional foundation on my forehead. I'm taking whatever's on my beauty blender and just blending it on the surface area of my forehead, and then really focusing this on this bottom area of my face and my nose. But again, I'm not putting any foundation under my eye because that's where the concealer is gonna go. All right, so let's talk concealer. Now, when you're wearing concealer, you wanna use what works best for your skin. There are so many types of concealers out there in the world, and really it's just a matter of testing them out until you find the right one. There's thousands of options out there. I'm gonna share my few favorites that I've been using for a long time now that's always worked for me. The first one is the NARS Creamy Concealer. I'm in the color Custard. It's weird because this color is almost universal. It's very, very highly popular. It's a very, very good concealer. It's around 32 bucks, I think, and it's gonna last you a long time because you don't need a lot. It's medium to full coverage, so it's not cakey at all, but it definitely does the job and it covers all the right areas. Now keep in mind, if you like that bright under eye, you want to go 2 to 3 shades lighter than your foundation, but this is the perfect color for me. It's olive undertone, and I love this concealer. Another one of my favorites, this is the OG Prep+Prime by MAC. This is in the color Light Boost, and I use this to brighten the under eyes. I do mix it sometimes with the creamy concealer or any other concealer, and it really gives that highlight boost under your eye where it's really bright, and a little goes a long way. This is very, very OG, and I've always loved MAC products, and this is just like a classic. You can't go wrong, and it's a good starter too if you want to start with a concealer and you've never used it before. It's very easy to blend. The next one, this is fairly new. It's not too new, but it came out a while ago, and it's the Anastasia Beverly Hills Concealer. This is the Magic Touch Concealer. I'm in the color 9. This is creamy and it's thick. It's full coverage, and it looks so good under the eye. It's a really nice contour concealer, so if you want to contour your nose and your forehead and your cheeks and things like that, it really complements that. It's a little bit more on the full coverage side, but it's very smooth and it blends really well. Another favorite of mine is the Armani Beauty concealer. This is the Power Fabric Concealer. I'm in the number 4, and again, I'm different in shades depending on the brand because their formulas are different, their undertones are different. So, and this one I'm a number 4, but this one's a lightwear, so it's not heavy to full coverage, but it's very, very smooth and creamy, and it almost feels like a kind of like a moisturizer, and it blends really nicely. If you're into like a lighter under eye that's not too heavy, it blends really well. Okay, and last but not least, this is my favorite. This is what everyone needs. If you need a concealer and you don't want any of these, the only one I'm gonna tell you to go out and buy right now is the Maybelline Age Rewind. This is actually like magical. I'm in the color 120 Light, and this product is so affordable. It's so good. The applicator is nice. It has a sponge on it, and every color works. You can use it to contour if you get a darker shade. It's absolutely amazing, and you can find it at your local drugstore. and it also doesn't crease, and that's important. A lot of concealers do crease. Now I'm gonna share the e.l.f. one with you. This is their 16-hour Camo concealer. It's a matte finish, but it's dry. So I've used this and it creases on me. And a lot of the time, if you're experiencing creasing under your eye, it's probably the concealer. I mean, of course it depends on how you apply it and how you set it, but it sometimes has a lot to do with the concealer that you're using. This product is amazing. I love e.l.f. Cosmetics, but for me, when I wear this, after a few hours in the day, it does crease and it's thick. And if I leave it on and I go put on my contour before I blend it, it dries and it's hard to blend. And I hate when concealer does that. So that one, not so much. Keep in mind, do play around with concealers, and if it's dry and like harder to blend, it's probably gonna crease. Okay, so to show you the concealer for today, I'm gonna use the NARS Creamy Concealer. All right, so the first thing you wanna do is make sure there's no product really already creased under your eye. I didn't put foundation on there, but I do have an eye cream on, and I just wanna go back over it one more time, make sure nothing's creased on there already. Go ahead and take this concealer, and I'm gonna just put a few dots under my eye like that. That's really the amount of concealer I normally use. And I literally place it just under my eye, and then I'll bring it down and blend it. I like to blend with a beauty blender. You can use a brush, whatever works for you. This is a damp beauty blender, and I'm gonna begin to blend it like you normally would with any concealer. And you see how immediately this is just so easy to blend, and it's such a pretty color. It's full coverage. It does help to kind of go like that. Like, I hate that face, but you have to do it because what it does is it really opens up your under eye area. And if you have creases or lines under your eye, you want to get the product really in there. And you can see just like that, it's nice and bright. And you see how I took some time to blend this side. This concealer doesn't dry up. The formula is so great, so I can go in and it's still blendable like that, versus like any dry concealer that'll be very hard to move around. So really open up your under eye area, bring it down. Okay, so here's where things get real and you gotta move quick. Your favorite translucent powder or whatever setting powder you have. I use the Laura Mercier translucent one, and you're not gonna bake. We're not baking. I get the product on that same beauty blender. It's okay if it's damp, and I just dip it in the product like this, just on the tip like that. And then now you're gonna have to make that face. And if it's been a while and you waited a few minutes, go back in there and blend it out again. If you start to see creases, before you apply the powder, blend the creases out. And then you're gonna make that shocking surprise look. Really open up your under eye area and then set it. You're gonna press the powder into your skin. And you're not gonna move your face. Don't release your face just yet. Press it enough into where the powder disappears. You're gonna really press it until it's fully in there, to the point where you're not gonna have to brush it off because you're setting it on your face. You see how it just disappeared? Keep setting it like you're blending the concealer, and hold it for like a minute. I know it's so hard to talk and do this. You really have to concentrate. Do not release, because what's gonna happen is you're gonna set the creases that are in there already. You're gonna set them, and that's what's gonna give you those lines. So really just hold your face, push it into your skin until it's all gone. And then after a second, when you're done setting, you can relax your face and breathe. There are no creases under the eye area because we really like got in there. And again, I didn't bake, so I don't need to, there's nothing on there to brush off. Like, it's just pressed in there, and that's what's gonna keep you set and airbrush looking throughout the rest of the day, and that technique should work. Some people like to go on additionally after they put a translucent setting powder and put a brightening powder. You can definitely do that. If you have a pressed powder, I have the Charlotte Tilbury one here, and you could grab any face setting brush like this and just dab it in there. And you can also, again, hold your face like that and just press it under the eye, and this will give it that brightening effect if you want to go a little brighter. I like to set with the translucent powder. It just feels better on my skin, and I know it'll keep me matte throughout the day. But you can go in with any powder. Again, just, it's all about holding your face in an uncomfortable position like this to open up those lines under the eye, and then release. And yeah, that's it. It's so easy. And that is it for my technique on how to achieve that beautiful under eye airbrush flawless look. I hope you learned something. Comment down below, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your recommendations for any concealers you love and that works for you. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later.